there are things in this world that we can barely comprehend. Everything. I think the entirety of Gaia was meant to be that way. In fact, it probably should. It's meant something. It's just beyond comprehension, because that is the lesser mind evolving into the higher mind. Is when you start feeling like that, the beauty of beyond. When you start feeling that it's beautiful, when humanity or the Earth, Gaia, is beyond comprehension at times. When you start coming across like dragons and fairies and vampires being real and having real lore that no one ever really talks about, or anything like that. And then everything about aliens and witchcraft, magic, just the world. Once you start feeling the beauty of it, everything being beyond comprehension, is one of the signs of when you start evolving your consciousness to a higher state. Because that is just what's going to happen to everybody on this planet. And that's going to happen to everything. To everyone. Because it's a global mass awakening. And this is just the beginning steps, because this is going to lead to the brand new Atlantis that is being set up in a higher understanding right now. In a higher understanding, where dragons teach magic. And how if you research the Kabbalah, how there's 3 archways that block off and only allow 10 Sephiroth. Well, those archways are going to be unveiled. They're going to be open up, and that's just going to be the first part of the soul. The 10 Sephiroth is just going to be the first part of the soul, and once we evolve into higher beings, we're going to have 36 strands of DNA. Not only that, but we're also going to have a bigger Kabbalah, maybe 20, 30, 500. The entire idea of limited chakras, limited Sephiroth, and anything like that is actually in the equation of all universal knowledge is quite nonsense once you get past the barrier of the lacking of understanding, or lacking any form of real understanding. It starts making less and less sense. In fact, Helena Blavatsky said that there's going to be 7 races of humanity. Right now we're on the 5th root of humanity, which means this is the Aryan race. Helena Blavatsky is the leader of all spirituality. She's the mother of all spirituality. She was the mother of all spirituality, and she said that the 5th root race of humanity is meant to be Aryan. And little things about World War II start aligning. Oh no, they start aligning about World War II and how Hitler had psychics that were beyond understanding, and everybody under his command actually knew alien technology when everybody against Germany did not. All of that starts coming into play in this brand new world where the entirety of humanity is being evolved. Frequencies are coming down to Earth, and they're affecting all of humanity. Well, it's 00101110. That's the vibrational frequency that is uplifting humanity right now. And regardless of what you think about it, it's always worth talking about. Because even Helena Blavatsky said, and there's 2 slots on the 6th root race of humanity and the 7th. Who knows what those 6th and 7th might be? Right now we're in the Aryan, the 5th root race of humanity. And each root race, it evolves, and even Helena Blavatsky kind of said, well, actually, Archangel Lucifer, the fallen angel, was actually more of a savior in doubt. And it's God that kind of strikes potential away. That was Helena Blavatsky. And then you think about it, there's a whole bunch of satanic covens around that, Luciferian covens that believe Enki and water gods and Anunnaki, like Enki, are actually the real god of enlightenment, and it matches perfectly with the mother of all spirituality there, because it's the fifth root race of humanity in the Secret Doctrine, written in 1888, described that the highest, the leaders of humanity, of all of Gaia, will be in fact Aryan. The Secret Doctrine was written by Helena Blavatsky, who started the Theosophical Society. The Theosophical Society is the #1 major society that is uplifting and expanding and inspiring spirituality all over the world. 90% of spiritualists, 90, are all inspired by Helena Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society, and use it as their source content of their spiritual beliefs. And she said that the leaders of humanity, like 60 or 70 years before World War II was even happening, said that the world would be ruled by Aryans. And then there's this whole idea about Aryan Anunnaki gods. I can't really say that much about it. I just think it's very phenomenal. Very phenomenal. Reading the Secret Doctrine, going through it. I have ADHD, so I can't go all the way through it, but I like going through it, picking through a page that I hear about online or that feels good in my heart to read about in the Secret Doctrine, and actually confirming a lot of spiritual ideas. It's just enlightening. And Lucifer was the archangel of enlightenment before it fell. I mean, it's very funny because when you think about it, the lead city, the biggest city in Atlantis, if anybody that studied Atlantis, the biggest city, or the lead city, was named after Poseidon of Atlantis, because he is the god of enlightenment. Isn't it a little funny? I think it's a little funny that most of these Luciferians worship Enki, which is the Sumerian interpretation of Poseidon, and they worship Enki as a Luciferian satanic god. I don't know. It's just, I believe personally that Atlantis may or may not actually exist. There's no way to actually bring continents or shape the earth to where Atlantis can rise again. My personal belief is that Atlantis is a vibrational frequency, worldwide frequency, and it's enlightened. It's the light. It's a light bearer. The ruler of Atlantis is like a light bearer, you know. And the Theosophical Society, they have the Kumara, the light bearer, I believe. Of course, in the city of, I don't really want to get big into it right now, but this world is bigger than you think. Because right now, the dragons are coming back. Whether you don't like it or you do, you love the living hell out of it. It's true. The dragons are coming back to uplift humanity as their goal, as an ascension goal in the overall structure of the galaxy. I can't talk about anything about it because I don't want to say everything. But yeah, it's called the Ascension Goal, and they're running it. Their dragons are running it. But they came back, and I don't want to say what they use, what magic they use. I don't want to bring that up. But the dragons are coming back. It's called the DragonFae. Dragon fairies. They're coming back to uplift all of humanity, to create a new humanity where ego is not a thing, And it's basically Atlantis. The frequency that they want to create for the entirety of the Earth is basically Atlantis. The second golden age. If anybody follows this YouTube, if anybody follows this YouTube, I've been bringing up, as I've been enlightening myself more and more, how much I'm inspired by this idea of the golden age. It's like, well, it all fits together. It all becomes one. And everything is one, and everything will always be one, as that is the law of one by Ra, the sun god Ra. Everybody has a perfect purpose for this world. Everybody has a thing to do. Everybody, whether it's upgrade your consciousness, even if you don't have a job, it's definitely something. It's definitely something. No, but I highly recommend The Secret Doctrine. It talks about all the 7 root races and everything about Lucifer, the fallen angel, and a lot about Atlantis. I highly recommend that book. Highly. Peace.